and welcome to episode 64 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to chat about all of my knit and crochet progress and plans and just how this week has gone with you all. I love filming these podcasts, and I hope that you enjoy watching and or listening to them. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future episodes or videos, because I've got so many fun things on the horizon that I can't wait to share more about. A couple of things to note before we hop into some finished objects today. First off, you can find the link in my bio to the show notes for this episode. So if you have any other questions about what I'm talking about, or just want some brief notes about what we chatted about today, you can check those out. I'm also going to be referencing them myself to my right. So if you see me glance over throughout the episode, that is why. There's a lot to talk about and I don't want to forget anything. So those are really handy for me and for you in the future. Also, a super exciting announcement here at the beginning of the episode. I now have a email newsletter list. So I'm going to include the link in the description box below for where you can just fill out that little bitty questionnaire, put in your email address and name, and you can be subscribed to that newsletter. So it's going to be kind of sporadic for a little while as I form a schedule and such, but there's also going to be testing calls going live through that newsletter as well. So it's going to be a really good way for me to connect to you all on a slightly more personal level, since I'll be, going into your inbox directly. It's going to be really exciting. So definitely subscribe to that if you want to get a little bit of the Graceful Tangle jazz in your email newsletter or email box, however you say that. But anyway, super excited to have that set up. So definitely click that link down below if you want to join us. Be sure to follow me on my other social media platforms as well. Lots of fun things going on every single day, just about, and I love every minute of it. So thank you so much for being here. Alrighty, like I said, lots and lots of things to talk about today. I'm so excited about every single project that I'm talking about. Excited probably just defines my knit and crochet career/journey. I say it all the time, but I truly mean it. I don't use that word lightly, even though I use it a lot. So anyway, like I said, lots of awesome things to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it today, because I have a few, actually, finished objects to talk about. So one thing that I guess I should address in a little bitty story time before we actually hop into the FOs today is this awesome little addition I have to my arm this week. So last Sunday, almost a week ago, today is Saturday, July 31st, but anyway, for me at least, that's when I'm recording this. But last Saturday or Sunday, we experienced our first flash flood here in Alexandria, Alabama. It was insane. I've never seen that much water in such a short amount of time in my life. It was crazy. And there was a place that we had to be. So we, left the house in it, and it turns out that as we were going out to the carport to get in the car, our cat had gotten left outside, which happens all the time. She's indoor and outdoor. But anyway, she hated the water, obviously. Cats hate the water. Newsflash, in case you need to know that. They don't like the water. Anyway, so she basically leapt onto me for me to take her inside, and that is the fun score that I have to prove that. So anyway, I thought about covering it up, but I really wanted to wear what I'm wearing today. So anyway, I apologize for that. Hopefully it's not too glaring. I know that it is not pretty, but yeah, I don't know. Crazy situation, and I have a little price to pay for it, I suppose. But anyway, all that aside, let's talk about some finished objects. First off, let's just kind of address the elephant in the room, and that is what I am wearing. Oh my goodness, y'all. I am so excited. So I am wearing my Annie overalls. They are completely finished. I love them so stinking much. They turned out absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm completely obsessed. So these are the Annie overalls by I Love Tinderbox over on Instagram. The pattern, I cannot brag about it enough. Like, it is absolutely amazing. I've talked about it throughout the process of me making these, but it's just incredible. I mean, I can't imagine the time that went behind it. I mean, I can understand it being a designer myself, but at the same time, I've never designed a pattern like this. and it's absolutely amazing. So definitely check it out. But my overalls are now complete, and I love them so much. So let's just chat about them for a couple minutes. So first off, they are constructed from the bottom up, which is the shorts working all the way up. I didn't make that many modifications, but there are a couple of major ones. So I did the shorts how she said, and I made them to the length that I thought was going to work. And then I proceeded to follow the pattern and do the front and back panels, which you can see splits down at my hip. And then I followed the back, which looks really cool. It's kind of a racer back style. I really, really love the way that it looks. And then again, followed the straps. I decided to do the pull-through method, as she calls it, which is where you don't have any hardware attached to the overalls. It's just crochet, so you just make the straps a little bit longer, pull the end through the stitches, and then tie knots to secure. I opted to not prepare for the knot at all, and what I mean by that is one thing that she stated in the pattern was to be sure to chain a couple of stitches and skip a couple of stitches to make a hole for the knot to go through. And she told you to do that like a few rows away from finishing off the front. I did not do that. In hindsight, I probably should have, but the reason I didn't was because I wanted them to be able to be adjustable. I didn't exactly know how they would fit, and I didn't want to plan on putting the straps through right here and then actually have to do it down here or something like that. So anyway, looking back, it would have been perfect for me to just follow the pattern and do what she said, but it's also totally okay. I put these in when I first tried the overalls on, and I actually didn't take them out. I just kind of slipped out of them like so, and it worked out pretty well. So I might not take them out. Like, I don't really want to stress the fabric that much by pulling them in and out every time I wear them. So I don't know. I mean, you know, I'll experiment with that as time goes on, I suppose. But for right now, they definitely work exactly how they are. One huge thing that I did, so like I said, I made the shorts as long as I thought I wanted them. But when I first finished them last weekend and tried them on, I did not like the length. They were way too long. And for me, I am a short person. I'm 5'1", and I'm, you know, not big in other ways either. Like, I'm just a petite person, and that's okay. I'm choosing to just live with it and move past it. But anyway, so I don't prefer the way that long shorts look on me. I feel like they kind of make me look shorter than I actually am, and I don't need any help looking short, right? So I just prefer shorter shorts. Obviously, you know, long enough to be modest, but short enough to where enough of my leg is showing to where it looks like I have legs. Does that make sense? Is that weird to say? Probably, but it's true. So anyway, I tried on the shorts, and they almost went to my knees. Like, they went to kind of that, I don't know what to call it, like right above my kneecap, basically, kind of where your thigh turns into your kneecap. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but they just did not look right. It kind of looked like I was wearing like a potato sack or something. It didn't look right. So I did something super major, and that was cut my crochet and fix it. So what I did, I'm going to stand up briefly so that I can show you guys. Well, you can't really see. Okay, so here's where the shorts end, right here. And if you see, the end is not exactly what it would typically look like. Like, it's not stretchy in this case. Not that it was stretchy before, but it's definitely less stretchy now. And then you can see the V's, like, it's kind of like you slip stitch all the way around it, which is basically what I did. So I did some research and figured out how to cut my crochet, and basically what you do is kind of like knitting. You put a strand of yarn, weave it in through all of the stitches on one row, and then cut off the row after that and all of that other fabric. And then you basically work in between the stitches on that strand of yarn that you threaded through those stitches, and slip stitch all the way around. So that's exactly what I did. Like I said, it yielded a tighter result than what would have typically happened if I had left it how it was. But because these shorts had so much positive ease on my legs, it's actually perfect. Like, it makes it look a lot better, I think, a lot more flattering. But yeah, so really, like, the shorts are only like, I don't know, 8, 10, something like that, rows long, whereas before they were a lot longer than that. But anyway, now I know what to do in the future if I ever make another pair of these, which I definitely think I will because I love them. And I kind of want like a dark gray or a black pair maybe, maybe light gray, I don't know, but I definitely think I'll make another pair in the future. So anyway, definitely some major crochet surgery. I made a reel about it over on my Instagram feed if you want to check it out, and I definitely plan on talking about that technique more in a separate video. But yeah, I learned a lot, and it was honestly a lot of fun to do it and to kind of have fun like that. It's kind of like a, you know, knitters or crocheters way of performing surgery on something that is the only type of surgery that I ever plan on performing. But it was a lot of fun, and I love the results, so I'm really, really happy that I just bit the bullet and did it. So, love these overalls. I'm talking a mile a minute because, you know, so many things to say, but I love how they turned out. Briefly, the yarn that I used was Knit Picks Lindy Chain in the colorway Plum. It's what she recommended in the pattern. I actually do want to make a pair using Knit Picks Comfy Fingering, I think is what it's called. I'm looking at it on my yarn shelf over there, and I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But I kind of want to get like a gray or something in that and make another pair and just kind of see how they compare yarn-wise, because obviously this is a, let's see, a cotton and linen, I believe, is the blend. Fingering weight, of course, and then the spin is more of like a woven kind of mercerized style versus a spun or plied. So anyway, I'm loving these. It's amazing. The pattern's incredible. Really looking forward to making another pair. I also really love this shirt underneath it. Yeah, I might make a couple of unusual modifications to the shirt to make it look a little bit better, but overall I really, really like it. So I think overall this entire project was a success, which is super exciting. Okay, my next finished object. I actually have 2 more finished objects, and they are both patterns of mine that have been released. So, you know, I'm kind of calling them FOs because the pattern is now available, so you can make them if you want. The first is my Massif blanket. So that's M-A-S-S-I-F. A Massif is a compact group of mountains. So that's kind of the inspiration behind this project. It's a chevron granny stripe blanket. I love it so much, and you guys do too, obviously, which makes me so, so happy. Thank you so much for all of the love on this blanket pattern. It released last week, last Thursday, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it was a huge success, so thank you so much for that. But I am just obsessed with this blanket. I love it so much. I love the photos as well that we got. Yeah, it was just so much fun to take those. So this blanket is worked all in one piece flat, of course, and then you add, have an end that I need to cut, but you know, you work this border along the edge and then add these super cute little pom-poms on the points, which I think adds the cutest little finishing touch. But you can find this pattern in my Ravelry and Etsy shops, and also free on my blog as a blog post. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. We Crochet Brava and Speckle is just my favorite acrylic yarn. I love it so much, and so I'm super excited to have a full blanket out of it. I love it. So thank you so much for all the love already. Yeah, really, really excited about this pattern. Okay, and then my last finished object. Let me grab them here. I'm also going to get my sock buckles and take these other socks off so that I can accurately show you these socks. So these are my movie night socks. This pattern is now available. As of right now, at the time I'm filming this, Saturday, it isn't. But this pattern is going to go live Monday on August 2nd. And yeah, I can't wait to have this pattern released. I'm speaking in the future, but hopefully it'll go super well and smoothly. But here's what these socks look like. I love them so much. So I used Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Mixtape. I think it is so cute. I love the colors so much, and I already love wearing them. They feel absolutely amazing on my feet. But yeah, so these feature a ribbed textured pattern with a toe, of course, and afterthought heel. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this pattern. My testers have been absolutely amazing and love it as well. So I can't wait to release it to the knitting community. But like I said, it is now available when you're seeing this. So I'll put the link in the description box below for you to check it out. But yeah, really, really love these socks. I love how they turned out. And again, I love this yarn so much. I'm definitely going to have to make something else with it. I haven't quite decided what, but it's going to be something good for sure because I love it so, so much. The colors are just amazing. So anyway, definitely check out that pattern if you haven't already. Socks are just becoming one of my absolute favorite things to design. as you will see later on in the episode. And I am obsessed with like every knitted sock in history of knitted socks. They are all amazing, and I want to knit all the socks. Just all the sock yarn, all the sock needles, knit all the socks. That's kind of been my life motto the past year that I've been knitting socks. It's been amazing. So anyway, that is it for finished objects. Lots and lots and lots of those this week. Lots of things done. I'm working on quite a few things as well. I have a couple fun works in progress to show. And then of course some amazing designs. So let's just keep moving right along. Alrighty, so my first work in progress is my comfy cacti socks. These are my first pair of socks for the 2x2 knit along that is currently happening with Emma of Bloom Create and lots of other amazing makers. I'm so excited to be participating in this knit along, and I can't wait to make socks from all of these amazing knitters and designers. But this is my current pair, and they are going so well. Last week I mentioned that my goal was to have the first sock completed, and that hasn't quite happened yet. It is my goal for this weekend, but obviously it is just Saturday morning, so I haven't had a lot of time to knit yet. But anyway, so here is my progress so far. I have all of the color work complete, which is super exciting. And look at those cacti. Like, I cannot, oh my goodness, I cannot handle the cuteness of these socks. Like, I am so excited about them. But anyway, so here again it is. I'm going to hold it nice and slow so that you can really get a glance of what the color work looks like. It is not difficult color work at all. You only use a maximum of 2 colors per row. You are working with 3 colors at once, but only 2 colors per round, if that makes sense, which is a huge game changer. I love 2 color work, but I do not care for 3 or more color work. It's just a little bit too, I don't know what the word is. Like, I'm capable of doing it, but I just don't enjoy doing it, so I don't usually gravitate to those types of projects. But 2 color work is absolutely amazing, and I love it so much. One thing that I did want to mention, because this is a product that I used when I was designing my Arid cowl, which is a color work cowl that features Knit Picks High Desert yarn. I designed it in March. I absolutely love that pattern. And I have been using this tool from Knit Picks. So this is a chart keeper, and basically it snaps open, and then when you open it up, you can see that it comes with these magnets, and the entire kind of folder, I guess is what we could call it, is magnetic. So you can take off these and move them around, and what it's designed to do is hold your pattern. So you just put your paper, which I can show you. I'm going to have to, give me 1 second, I'll show you, because I don't want to reveal any of the pattern because it is paid for. Here we go. This is an empty back page here. So you can just place your paper on the folder and use the magnets to secure it. Obviously, you do it, kind of sitting down and more securely, but that's basically how it works. And then what I like to do is use it for color work knitting. So you can have your chart, and then if you use this longer magnet to kind of keep track of each row, it is so much simpler than trying to just look down at the whole piece of paper at once and use a pencil to mark out rows, which is what I used to do, and it totally works. Like, obviously I realize, this costs money, right? But it's a really helpful tool, and so I highly recommend it. I'll put a link down below if you want to check it out. But yeah, it made this whole process so much easier, and designing that cowl pattern so much easier. It's just really nice to have a good way to track those color work rounds so that you don't get confused. Another thing that you could do if you're looking for a super duper cheap option is get a page protector, like one of those plastic page protectors for like binders and important papers and stuff like that. Put your pattern into it, and then use an expo marker to mark out each row as you come to it. And then you can just reuse that page protector each time you need to. You can just erase the expo marker off and reuse it. So obviously that isn't maybe as professional or practical, but it is definitely a cheaper option, and you might already have that stuff laying around your house. So pencil paper is amazing. Page protector and expo marker is amazing. This is kind of the upscale version, but again, it makes it so much easier. It's worth every penny, in my opinion. But anyways, so again, these are the socks that I am currently knitting on. I'm using 3 different colors of Knit Picks palette, And those are, I don't know if I have all of my labels in here, so this might get really fun really quick. Okay, the green is Tarragon, which looks like this. It is a super vibrant green. I really love the way that it is pairing with the other two colors. Super high contrast, which was really important to me. So I'm really glad that the colors all connect really well. And then the other color, the one that I'm not sure about is this one. And that's not the right one. So anyway, this, I'm not quite sure what the colorway is called, but it is a really beautiful sand color, which is what it's supposed to imitate. And then this blue, which is translating into my sky color, is Opal Heather. So this is my favorite palette color. So I'm really excited to be using it for these socks. And then again, I think it pairs so well with those two. So super excited about it. This is my first time using palette for socks. I'm excited to see how it wears and lasts. Palette is amazing for color work just because of the color diversity between all of the many different colors that Knit offers. But it also just, I don't know, it sticks together well, if that makes sense, because it's 100% wool, and I think that helps color work as well. It kind of helps with tension issues, in my opinion. But yeah, I love these socks so much. I'm definitely hoping to finish this one this weekend. I'm hoping that I can stay on track and finish the entire pair by next week's episode, but we will see. Stay tuned. But yeah, I love these so much. Really excited to see them and keep growing. The pattern calls for a heel floppy gusset. I will most likely switch that up and do an afterthought heel. I haven't quite decided yet, but that tends to be what I gravitate towards. So we will see. But I'm obsessed with the pattern. Super excited to continue knitting on these socks. Okay. Next up, works in progress wise, I have one more work in progress to show you guys, I think. Let me make sure this is what I think it is. Yes, okay. So, one more work in progress, and it is languishing whip. So, I started 2 sweaters, I believe. I can't remember if I did it late last year or early this year. I honestly don't remember. But either way, I have 2 sweaters that have become languishing whips. I haven't reached for them in these hot months. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I guess I kind of lost interest in the projects. I got super busy with school and designing, and so they just took a back seat. But I am determined to finish both of them before fall hits so that I can enjoy them all fall and winter season. So, the first is my Sand and Ocean cardigan by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. I'm using all different greens for this project, so I'm going to pull them all out here so I can show you each of them. And here is what it actually looks like. So I have already made good progress on this cardigan. I've split for the sleeves, so the entire top half is done. And now I'm just cruising along the body, which is where I kind of halted. I just got a little bit bored with it, but now vanilla knitting is exactly what I need. It's a crazy time with school. I'm about to be on a break, and we're going on a trip soon. Like, it's just a really perfect project to have on hand. So I've decided to pull it out. And it is my goal to finish this sweater in the month of August. And then hopefully I'll finish the other sweater in the month of September, excuse me. So that is my plan. We'll see if it happens, but I'm going to work hard and try to accomplish it. So here's my progress. Like I said, I'm using multiple greens, but of course I started out with this gray. So I'm using, I don't know the colorway names because the labels are long lost, but my fade. So this is the first green. I'm working with this one now, and then I will go into this. And this is all Knit Picks City Tweed, by the way. And then this green, then I'm going to this like deep blue, and then I'll finish off with this gray. So here's what it all looks like. I love it so much. Like I said, I mean, this was just my own doing of putting this project on my back burner. The pattern is absolutely amazing. The yarn is amazing. The needles that I'm using are amazing. Like, everything about this project is awesome. I just couldn't handle it at the time for whatever reason. So, anyway, it's going great now, and I can't wait to continue working on it. I did a few rows this morning, and it was really enjoyable. So, I'm looking forward to just spending a bit of time every day and getting it done. That's my goal. I might even try to do like 30 minutes every day and see if that can help me get it done. I don't know. I mean, 30 times 30 days in August. That's 900 minutes. So surely to goodness that's enough, right? 900 minutes. I mean, that's like 61. I don't know. Apparently I can't do 60 divided by 900 quickly, but either way, it's a lot of hours. So hopefully that should be enough. But I'm super excited to work on this some more. And again, I'm really enjoying it right now. So I'm hoping that energy and that motivation to finish it stays. My other sweater that I have on the back burner right now is my Like a Cloud cardigan by Haru Locatelli, which is a pattern that, again, I absolutely love. The yarn is incredible. And I'm looking forward to picking it back up again. So I'm really thankful for this motivation to get these projects done. I think part of me, I went through my work basket earlier this week to kind of clear things out. And I think seeing them kind of inspired me to get started on them. And the fact that I do actually have some time coming up where I can dedicate to these projects. So anyway, I'm excited to continue working on it for sure. And hopefully it'll be done in the month of August. That's my goal. August 30th. Sand and Ocean cardigan complete. Let's do this. So that is it for my regular non-design works in progress. I do have a few fun designs to talk about, so let's go ahead and do that. So the first design that I have spent a lot of time working on this past week are my worsted Success socks. So I released the Success socks pattern earlier this year, and it kind of ignited an inspiration in me to grow this Success collection and just make it a bunch of different patterns that are designed to be beginner level knitting patterns that any knitter can enjoy. And my goal is for all of them to be free. We will see. You know, I'm not completely promising that. It might be free only on my blog, but either way, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. But I am just loving all of these projects so much, and socks are the first thing that are coming for this collection, and then I'm hoping to grow it into lots of other different projects as well. So anyway, currently I'm working on 2 different sock patterns, and the first is my Success worsted socks. So I have knit 2 full pairs of these socks already, and I am completely hooked. I'm already planning my 3rd pair. The first uses Knit Picks Felici worsted. This is the colorway Rustic Cabin. This is an old Felici color from last year. However, they have released a new Felici collection this week. So I will link to it down below if you want to check it out. It's going to go fast. I know it is, but all of the colors are absolutely amazing. And I'm trying to resist the urge for buying one of every single one because it is extremely tempting. But anyway, love this yarn so much. And I love these colors. We are visiting a cabin later in the month of August, and so I'm hoping to get some fun pictures of these socks there just to kind of, you know, be all cohesive with the aesthetic, but super excited about them for sure. They feature an afterthought heel just like my other sock pattern, but yeah, I love them so much. So I have this full pair done. Here's the second one. It's just not on the blocker, obviously. And then my second pair uses some new to me yarn. So last weekend, and honestly this weekend, a lovely friend, so this friend used to own a yarn shop very close to me. I'm still sad that they closed because I mean, I could be an employee now. It's hard. But anyway, she has been so generous and has gifted me a lot of the yarn that used to be in her yarn shop, which is just absolutely amazing. And one of the yarns that she gave me was this one. So this is Barocco. I'm going to pull up the skein so that I can get the name right. Here's what a new skein looks like. This is Barocco Comfort, and this is the worsted weight line, 50% superfine nylon, 50% superfine acrylic. So it's an acrylic and nylon blend. It feels absolutely amazing. I knit my dad some socks for his birthday and using this same yarn, but in the fingering weight version. So I really love that it has both weights, and I am honored that I get to use both weights. But this is the colorway that I used for the second pair of socks, and it is the colorway Comfort Worsted Print. Well, that's not. Okay, the color, you ready? 9838. There you go. It doesn't have a name, but it's really beautiful. It has like magenta and eggplant and like a deep, deep purple. It's so beautiful. And again, so I have now knit 2 pairs. Here's the second one. I am so eager to knit a third pair of these socks. I think my next pair will feature knit fingering weight held double is kind of what I'm thinking. I want to try that out. But yeah, super obsessed with this pattern. I have it completely drafted, so it is going to be coming out very, very soon. Stay tuned for the release date because I am obsessed with this pattern and I cannot wait to release it to you all. It's so quick, like knitting these socks. I mean, it probably takes me, I don't know, 2 hours maybe to knit one sock, which is just so quick. So, super excited about this pattern. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited if I tried. So, definitely stay tuned for its release date for sure. Okay, and then in that same vein, I have started my DK weight sock version as well. This is going to be DK and sport in the same pattern. The weights are very similar, but if you play around with your needle size, you can definitely meet gauge. So here is what my sock looks like currently. I have finished the leg, and this sock matches my nails, and it kind of makes me really happy, I'm not going to lie. It was 100% not intentional, but I'm going to have to make sure that I get some, like, repaint them, probably, and then get some pictures, because I'm kind of obsessed with the color combination. But anyway, here is what this sock looks like so far. I'm using Knit Picks Paragon Sport for the first time, and I love it so much. It is a beautiful, plump, 2-ply yarn, and yeah, and then my second pair of these, I'm hoping to be a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair held together. I cannot even wait to see that combination. But like I said, I have the leg complete, so my next step is to place the yarn for the afterthought heel and then cruise down the foot. This pattern is also drafted, so it's going to be coming out very soon as well. I am so excited about all these patterns for sure. But yeah, a lot of work is going into each and every one of them. But I'm really excited about all of them and can't wait to bring them all into fruition. I'm also hoping to do a bulky weight sock pattern, and then I think I want to do like a super bulky version as well, but I think those are going to be like slippers almost. So stay tuned for that because I'm still kind of deciding where to go in that route, but either way, it's going to be really fun, and I'm looking forward to knitting all the socks all the time, forever and always. I'm obsessed. I'm going to have like 100 pair of socks, and I live in Alabama, so I don't know how often I'm going to wear all these, but I'm going to wear them as often as I can in the fall and winter, and then yes, I plan on moving north. Hopefully God opens up a door for that adventure, but anyway, I really want to wear my knitwear more, but yeah, I'm obsessed with this sock. And again, this one's super fast too. Fingering weight is not slow to me. Like, I love knitting with fingering weight yarn, but once you knit a pair of socks in like worsted or DK weight, you're like, wow, okay, I'm hooked. Like, I'm obsessed. But anyway, like I said, so many exciting things going on, and I am just so pumped for everything happening. It's amazing. Okay, I do have one more design to talk about, and it is something really exciting and completely different. I'm not entirely sure where this pattern is going to go, but for right now I am enjoying doing the math and filling out my own sample, and then we'll decide what to do in the future when that time comes. But I am working on a Tunisian crochet top. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I had this pattern in my head, and I couldn't find anything exactly like it that I wanted to make for myself, so I just decided to try to design one. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. It's super simple, which is like my entire thought behind it, but it's going really well so far. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out the math behind it because I just could not get my yardage to line up with the stitch count. That it was like, I still have no idea what I was doing. I think this is going to sound ridiculous. You ready? I think I was multiplying by 100 when I should have been dividing by 100, which is obviously a huge difference. So I still don't know, but either way, I have it all figured out now. I'm going to do these few stitches so that I can actually show you because it flipped out while it was in the bag. I had some massive yarn vomit at the beginning of this yarn ball, which is always fun. So that leads to a tangled mess in my bag. Okay, there we go. So I literally have one row done on this, but I wanted to go ahead and show it to you guys because I wanted to just talk about the pattern itself, which I've done. And the yarn, of course. So, like I said, one measly row. Like, you literally can't even tell what's going on. But this is going to be a boxy tee. So this is how wide it is, which obviously it has a couple of inches of positive ease on either side of my shoulders. And then it's going to be a little bit shorter in the front than it is in the back, which I really love the look of. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. And then the yarn that I'm using is Wide Brand Puma Cotton in the colorway Rose Taupe. So it's a beautiful, beautiful color. Here's what the pearl looks like again. Like I said, massive yarn vomit. So excuse that. But it is such a beautiful color. It's going to pair really well with the color shorts that I typically wear. So I'm really looking forward to putting some more rose into this and making some more progress this week. Tunisian crochet has become a new passion, and so I'm really excited to grow my skills and design more patterns and just learn more and more about the art. I have a really fun idea that I want to make happen next spring of 2022. And so designing this and just, learning how to write a Tunisian crochet pattern and all of that is going to kind of prepare me for that adventure in the spring. So I'm hoping everything plans out the way that I want it to, but I am loving this project already. And now I'm going to somehow get all of this back in this little project bag. And I will be untangling later today, it looks like, because that yarn is not cooperating very well. It's amazing to work with, but yeah, yarn vomit is never fun. Okay, so that is it for all of the knitting and crochet goodness for this episode. I am obsessed with all of these projects, and I just want to knit and crochet 24/7, but I can't quite do that yet. But I am really hoping for the day where I can take this little business of mine full time. I really hope that is in the plan for my future. But anyway, I do have a devotion and a life update to share, so let's go ahead and talk about some really good things. So last Sunday, our pastor talked about the subject of contentment. And this is honestly not a subject that I have thought that much about in the past, but it is something that has been really just whipping at my heart ever since he talked about it. I often find myself just wishing and longing for a season that I am really hopeful for that hasn't come yet. Multiple seasons, honestly, and just looking in the future instead of really appreciating the here and the now and the season that I am currently in. And that is what contentment is all about. So basically he talked about so many things. I took so many notes, like so many. I kind of thought I met my, writing quota for the week on Sunday, to be quite honest. But it was just such a good sermon. I really encourage you to listen to it. I'll actually link to it down below if you want to listen to it. If you want to kind of see what our church services are like, I think that'd be super cool. But anyway, it was just such an impactful sermon and extremely applicable to me personally. And those are the ones that I can glean the most from because I can relate to it. And I feel that when I can relate to something, I can appreciate it and value it and then learn from it even more. And that's exactly what I felt like doing this sermon. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of his sermons about this topic. It's a new series that he is starting, and I'm really grateful to just be able to listen to them. But again, I wanted to briefly talk about contentment with you guys today because it's such an important subject and one that I am continuing to learn about and just grow in and learn what it truly means. So I've jotted down a few notes for today's little devotion time, and I wanted to share them with you guys. So first off, Paul wrote in Philippians 4:11, and this is the verse that Pastor referenced a lot. It's kind of the main verse for this sermon series. And in this verse, Paul is talking to the Christian church, and he says, "I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned that, sorry, I got completely lost in my notes there, but he says, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances." And that is such an impactful verse. And what Paul is saying is not that he is ungrateful for what the church has provided, but more in a sense that he doesn't need anything because he is content with what he has. He is grateful for what he has, and he knows that the Lord will always provide. And I think that that is such an impactful way to live, and something that we should all learn and appreciate, and like I said, learn to live in. Our pastor defined contentment as this: Contentment is when we become convinced that who we are and what we have in Christ is adequate or more than enough for every situation in life that we will face. And that was just absolutely breathtaking to me to think about. And I think it's so true, and another thing that Pastor really hit on was that it's possible to be content in the season that you are in now and still desire and have expectations for a future season. And that is I felt like he was talking directly to me, to be quite honest. Because that's exactly where I am. I am in a season that is absolutely amazing and such a season of learning and growing, but extremely difficult. Between work and school and running this business and still, desiring these future seasons in my life, it's a lot and it's hard to process and, try to learn through. But at the same time, contentment is exactly what that's about. It's about, realizing the season that you're in, learning as much as you can and growing as much as you can, and then looking forward to other seasons, all in God's timing. And I think that's what it's all about. So I pray that you continue to pray about contentment and having a heart that is content. That's definitely been my prayer the past week, and it will continue to be before, just until I realize the change that is happening in my life. And yeah, I hope that was encouraging to you guys today. I always want these little devotional segments to be inspiring and just uplifting for the week ahead. And that sermon was super impactful for me personally, and I hope that this little bit of excerpt was for you. And then also don't forget to check out that sermon below if you want to listen to it. Our pastor is amazing, and I'm so grateful for him. And yeah, it was an awesome sermon, and I'm excited to hear the rest of the series. So in terms of life, this is my last full week of my summer semester of college. So I have one final left. I have already taken the finals for my other two classes, so those are now completely finished. I took my last exam for my accounting class this past Friday, and it went so well. I'm so grateful for that. And then I just have my final left in that class. So I'm waiting for that to become available, and then I will take it. I'm obviously studying in the process of that currently, but yeah, this summer semester has been a lot, but I am so excited because when it is over, I get almost 2 weeks, not quite 2 weeks, but almost 2 weeks off, and then I can just, enjoy that time and rest and rejuvenate for the semester ahead, because the fall one is going to be even more crazy than the summer one, but it'll be good, and I will learn and grow in as many ways as possible for sure. So I think that is about it for this week's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, filming these podcasts is just so much fun for me. It's a chance for me to kind of geek out a little bit about all of these amazing projects and just talk about what I love with you guys, and that is all of these yarny goodness. It's amazing. I'm obsessed with every single one, and I cannot wait to get back crocheting and wear my overalls and all the amazing jazz that goes with all of that. So like I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and let me know in the comments below, or send me an email sharing what you are working on this week, because I want to hear it and encourage you and inspire you to keep working hard. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Until then, happy making. Bye.